Good to be here.
Welcome. Anyone else want to say hello? Welcome, Bud. Welcome, Sandra.
This is Ronnie from Texas.
Hi, Ronnie, welcome.
Looking forward to a Supreme Court decision on Friday.
There you go, Bud. There you go. If I have any inkling of what that is, I believe I do. We're all looking forward to that one. A lot of us. Welcome to the call. This is the Enriching Gifts Education Call. As you join us, please tell us your name and where you're calling in from so we can welcome you to the call. We'll get started here in another couple minutes. And if you have any guests that you want to, or anybody that you know of, we're going to do we're going to do something a little different today. We've done it once before in the past, but we're going to love on them while they're still alive and give them their roses while they're alive call today. So if you know of anybody who deserves to be on this call, if Ron Schneider, if Enriching Gifts International has impacted their life one way or the other, then have them come on to this call, because we want to just spread some positive energy and just love on Ron, and we'll make that make more sense here in just a minute.
Hey Dover, Roderick in Wisconsin.
Hey Roderick, welcome. How are you, brother?
Doing good. Doing good.
Good. Welcome.
How are you?
I'm feeling better.
That's good to hear.
Feeling better. Yeah. If you can't tell, everybody, I haven't shaved, battling a little bug, but I'm on the call. All right.
Talia and Stephen here from Texas.
Hey, Talia and Stephen, welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Great to have you both here. Anyone else? This is the Enriching Gifts Education Call. If you just joined us and have not said hello, please do so.
Hi, it's Shelley from Colorado.
Hi, Shelley. Welcome to the call.
Thank you.
You are welcome. All right, give it one more minute and then we'll get started here. All right, welcome to the call. This is the Enriching Gifts Education Call. We do this call each and every Wednesday, have been for decades. And I say decades, not myself, but Ron, the CEO, the formulator, the founder of Enriching Gifts. We're very grateful to have his daughter and son-in-law on the call tonight, Talia and Stephen. And tonight, I wanted to do something a little bit different, just because, and I won't get into all of the details. First and foremost, I want to say Happy New Year, Happy 2022 to each and every one of you. Hopefully you had a wonderful start to your new year. And we missed you the last couple of weeks on these calls, just celebrating those of us that observe the Christmas holiday and New Year's. So we haven't had this call, but today we are. And unfortunately, Ron will not be with us today. And I don't want this to be like a doom and gloom, a somber call. But I do want to just kind of set the tone of this man's dedication to his craft, to his calling in life. And for those of you that, if anybody's new or you're watching this for the first time, who is Ron Schneider? I mentioned it. Ron's the formulator, the founder, www.enrichinggifts.com, if you're not familiar with who we're speaking about. But he's impacted a lot of lives. And I want to give back to Ron a little bit tonight. I know we did this before and just loved on Ron, gave a testimonial or some type of feedback of what the product or what Ron has done. I shared a story about when I met with Ron in Cancun back in 2005 and how that forever changed my life. Then, becoming a microscopist and being trained by Ron. Actually got recertified a couple of years ago at the training center there in Montana. But something had just hit me before the call. And I just want to point out before we get going and I open it up. And before I do, is anybody like camera ready? Like I'm not feeling the best. Obviously I need to shave, but my camera's on. Like Ron's gonna watch this and I want him to see the condition. Yes, I'm sick. I was sick. I'm not giving life to that anymore. But I want him to see those of you on this call, and especially if you're speaking. So if you have a camera, thank you, Michael Wu. If you have a camera that you can turn on and you're feeling, okay to do that, let's have conversation. Let's talk a little bit. Ron called a little while ago, and this is his dedication. Thank you, Roderick. And it was, and Shelly, thank you. And it was his reminder to me. Like he called me last week, and if you haven't already figured this out, Ron lost another loved one. Talia's family, they lost another loved one on Christmas Day, and that's Ron's story to tell. I know he's okay with me sharing this, but I'll let him tell his own story. But he lost a loved one, and he called me a week ago and said, "Hey, next week, can you take care of the call?" No problem. And so I was thinking, like, what could I do? What should we do to start off the year? And those of us that were on the last call where we shared, what Ron has done, I didn't realize it had the impact that it did. It really touched him. And I know Roger called with us at one point where he said how important that was. And hello, Talia and Stephen. And so I want to do that again because too often do we celebrate people when they're gone, and Ron has impacted a lot of lives, all of us on this call. But I want to give back to him again and just share from the heart kind of what he means and what this company has meant to a lot of us. And there's a lot of people I know in my family that weren't able to make it today, and I wish Elaine and Rod were here because Ron, they would be sharing with you. Elaine and Rod are my in-laws, and we introduced them to Ron, my wife and I don't know, over a decade ago. And this is a man who's been on kidney dialysis, her husband, Rod, and it was given a life sentence, right? They call it death sentence. I call it life sentence. And so he's been on the Enriching Gifts products, specifically the enzymes. And without those, like the doctor's like, what are you doing? Like it's been almost 15 years now that I think about it, that he's been on dialysis, and it's just kept him going. So they weren't able to make it, but they wanted me to express to Ron how much he means and that his product means to them. It's literally life and death situation for them. So I say that to say, he called me earlier today to remind me, as if he needed to remind me. We do this call every Wednesday. It's just Ron. It's just his dedication. It's his heart. It's his passion. And it hit me. I said, Ron, I got the call. How you doing? How are you holding up? And he says, I'm okay. I'm just heading to the viewing. I'm heading to the viewing. And I was like, wow. And just like now, it made me emotional because I don't know that I've found anything in my life's passion that I would have paused for. On the way to the funeral. So for Ron, He's just dedicated. So gather myself. Thank you for allowing me to be vulnerable here. So that's how we start the call. So welcome everybody. But no, seriously, I want Ron to know and to not hear it from me and oh, what a great call we had and so said this and they said that. Like let's come unplugged a little bit and whatever you feel compelled to say that's on your heart, even if you shared something last time, as I did. There's nothing like the present, like being in the moment and living in the now. So what I like to do is just take an opportunity to allow each and every one of you, if you choose, to unmute and just share something about Ron, about the product, about someone that you've shared it with, that it's helped. And just tell the man and tell Samantha, tell him thank you. And Talia and Stephen, I want to say thank you to you both publicly. You've come into the fold here with this gift, this enriching gifts that your father created, and it's been a blessing to all of us. So we really appreciate you and your diligence, and you, Stephen, for what you're doing to make sure that people get their product. Because like I said, and for those of you that don't know, Talia and Stephen run the online side of Enriching Gifts, and there's people's lives that depend on this stuff, as you both know. So just thank you for your contribution and your service.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. Anyone, if you want to unmute, if you get emotional like I did, that's fine too. But just share whatever on your heart or on your mind, and welcome, Rob. I see you joined us as well. If Diane's there, welcome to her too. But anybody, don't be shy. Speak as if you wanted someone to speak for you, right? Speak as if it were someone speaking about you.
Ron, I just really appreciate you. My heart goes out to you and your family, and I wanted to share. I really wanted to have my girlfriend Janine on the call. You know, she's undergoing a lot of pain, and she tried to get out of her work, but one of her employees was sick, and so she just got home too late. So I'm standing in for her. My auntie Ann. The reason why I'm sharing these two people is because they wanted to share. I'll start with Janine. For those of you who don't know, she owns a vitamin source store. It's her passion to help the local community and the adjoining states with their issues, with their health, much like Ron, much like you, buddy. And in terms of so she sells enzymes. She sells lots of stuff from many different places. And when she was introduced to your product, your enzymes, you know, she didn't say too much, but when I buy her enzymes and it's there, she's like, she wants to take those. I go, oh, really? You know, because I know her background, right? I know her background. She knows the labels like you do, Ron. She reads those and she helps. And so she said, yeah, I found those very effective. I just prefer Ron's, you know. And so I'm like, man, that's great coming from you, babe. So I know she wanted to share that. So she asked me to share it for her. And so I thank you for that, Ron. The Auntie Ann, I don't know if you remember her. She came on one time and she had a bloating issue. That's the first time I've had one of my family members come on the call, and you helped her. And she's feeling better now in terms of the bloating. She's still got other issues, but I haven't been able to get her on the call for those issues. But what you gave her sent her in the right direction. And that's just, you know, I just wanted to share that with you, the impact that you've had on my life as well. I appreciate that. And Stephen, Natalia, I just want to personally thank you guys for stepping in and taking care of the online business. You guys have been consistent and if not better than, well, I won't go there, just consistent with the online service. And I know a lot of people appreciate what you've done there. So thank you.
All right. Appreciate that, Roderick.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was on mute.
No problem. Anybody else? Talia, Stephen, you have anything you want to say, or you want to hold off, or?
No, I do. I just want to say to my dad that I really appreciate this opportunity and I don't take it for granted, and neither does Stephen. It's blessed us, you know, financially, and it's blessed us just being able to help people and be a part of my dad, be a part of what he loves to do so much. And I just want you to know, Dad, that I love you and I appreciate you so much. And, you know, just growing up with him, like we would always be places or be doing things, and, you know, I would want to go do this or go do that. And I would spend summers with him, and there was never a time that he didn't pick up his phone for one of his customers. And I know that it's the most, besides his family, it's like, you know, the most important thing. It's his passion. And I've witnessed it over the years, and it really is, you know, he'll never not take somebody's call. And I just, being in this business and, you know, talking to people every day, there's a lot of people that will tell me how great the products are and how they've helped so much with this cancer side effect, or, you know, whatever issue it may be. I just know that there are so many people that rely on the products, that they're effective for people. And, you know, and you did that, Dad. And I think you're amazing. And I love you so much. And I know that things are hard right now. You know, he's lost a brother and a sister. And I just know that there's a lot of people that you've helped, and I know you take pride in that, and we love you so much.
Nice. Very well said. And you are so right, Talia. And I gave up. And I was like, stop answering your phone, dude. Like in the middle of the night. And he shut up, because he told me he cares about people. And it's about people. So, you know, don't take it the wrong way. Like Talia said, outside of his family, like his family is his priority. But his calling to human beings, to man and womankind, like he's there for people. And you're right. He will pick up that phone no matter what, no matter who it is, no matter what time of day or night. And yeah, he's
And, you know, sometimes I feel like it did come, and him and I have talked about this. It kind of came at the cost of our relationship a little bit, you know, growing up. But now that I'm older and he has this amazing business that he worked so hard for, and he's able to share that with me, I'm able to share that with him. So it's kind of come full circle.
Right. Yeah. I've had that same experience with my own
Yeah.
son. So
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. Totally makes sense. And Ron, you know, phew, I'll save it so I don't cry again. But Talia, thank you. Appreciate you.
Yes.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Stephen, thank you. All right. Anyone else? If you want to unmute yourself, please don't be shy and just say a few words to Ron.
Hi, this is Shelley.
Hi,
And,
Shelley.
Hi. My sister introduced me to Enriching Gifts, and you know, she just said, we were raised in a family that my mother, we ate healthy. My mother was kind of a health nut. We took vitamins all our life. And so, you know, health-wise, I don't really have anything going on. I mean, I'm really healthy. But when my sisters told me about it, it was like she said, this is the real deal. And she said, he's the real thing. And so I started listening to, actually I ordered product first, I think, and then I started listening to calls. And as much as he's so knowledgeable and so willing to answer anything and not necessarily pushing really what he sells. You could tell he's just genuine and he wants to help people. And that's what I appreciated him, the most. And I will probably always take Enriching Gifts products just because of his passion and the fact that you can tell it's his life and he's not going to put something out there that cheapens or isn't effective or whatever, just like he won't, if products go out of stock, he's not going to produce something and I'm sure he could produce something that is inferior. And yeah, that's the real deal. And I think he's the real thing. So I just wanted to say that I've never met him in person, just on the calls. I'd love to sometime. I'm actually from Montana. I'm from Sydney, which is 126 miles away from Miles City. But so we drive through there. I live in Colorado now, and we drive through there when we go home. And I always think about him when I drive through there. But yeah, I just appreciate him so much, and I'm so glad that he and the product have come into my life.
That's awesome, Shelley, and thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
And that's a true testament to someone who's healthy that wants to be proactive and maintain that health or optimize it. And yeah, he said something there. I lost my train of thought about the product. Oh, won't compromise the product. This, I think it was earlier this year, beginning of the year, when there was a specific product, one of the ingredients Ron couldn't get his hands on, and then the batch that he did tested negative, and so he couldn't produce the product. I don't know if it was detox or Talia, you might know better than I.
No, it was the Sterile Max.
Thank you. Yes. And it was like a barley or something that was not right. And I'm like, dude, don't put the barley in there, dude. Let's go. Let's get some Steromax going. He's like, no, we don't compromise on anything. In fact, I think it went through like 2 or 3 test runs or different batches. And
I think 3.
Yeah. So, and that's the first time in, some 15 years or so that I've known him but that's who he is. He's not gonna compromise for his product. So, and you heard it from Shelley. So thank you, Shelley. Shelley, you should, whether it's Miles City or the training center, you absolutely should meet Ron.
He would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to meet him in person. He's a fascinating and has lived a fascinating life, but a fascinating man and so knowledgeable. So, and actually Glasgow is not that far away from Sydney either. I can't tell you the miles for sure, but I know what Miles City is. So
Again, thank you, Shelley. Appreciate that. All right. Anybody else? Any words? Any thoughts?
Will.
Yes.
I put my video on and everything, even though I look crazy today, but
Yes. Hello.
took
You
me a
look
minute
wonderful.
to figure it out how to do it.
You look
But I always
wonderful.
appreciate, it's only been a year. I don't know you guys all that well, but Ron, like you guys say, he always picks up the phone, he
What
calls
was
you
your
back.
name? Who is this?
I'm Melanie.
Melanie. Hello. Where you dialing in from, Melanie?
Currently Texas.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah,
Excellent.
we were in California when I first met Ron. And before that we were from Michigan. So we've been all over.
Awesome.
But yeah, Texas.
Please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I just want to say I appreciate Ron a lot. We had some kind of sickness through the Christmas, and but my dad had come over and he's in stage 3 kidney disease, and so I wanted him to get on the enzymes, so I sent him home with enzymes. But then his, kind of like my mom. I mean, they're not married. I don't know, but Kathy, she already had throat cancer, but I thought, because she doesn't get a lot of oxygen, so I had pulled out my oximeter and I tested her oxygen. It was like 91, and then I gave her one enzyme just to try it because it was her first time, and it went to 95.
Wow.
Just like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, everybody couldn't believe it. So I sent them home with product, and I appreciate how he always makes sure the product's great. And he always answers my same questions because my brain is just, trying to get there. And he answers the same thing gracefully. And I'm like, oh, he's wonderful. Yeah, eventually I'll get it. Eventually it's all going to be there, and I'm so sorry he's going through all this. It's just horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just wanted to say, I appreciate Ron a lot.
Thank you.
And Talia, nice to see your face.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. Yeah, that's all. I'm not very long-winded. I don't want to get emotional either.
No, I appreciate it, Melanie. Yeah, I appreciate you turning your camera on and saying hello to us. And,
Yeah, it took me a minute to figure it out.
oh, you did it. You did it. You
Got
did it. well. So thank you so much.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's consistent, and you're right. He's a very patient individual. I think I'm on like a 10 Pete. He's had some questions I've asked at least 10 times, and he's still patient, and he still answers with humility. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just kind, just so kind. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Anyone else want to share any words or thoughts before we wrap up tonight's call?
Sure, I'll go.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, Ron, been a while. We should talk more, but we know we're both really busy.
Who is this, by the way?
Oh, who is this? I'm sorry. It's Rob.
Hey, Rob, welcome. My microscopist buddy. Go ahead, Ron. Rob,
Yeah.
welcome.
So we met some 13, 14 years ago at a seminar, imagine that. And there was just something that you had that just drew me to you. And then when I learned more and more about what your product does, how the body functions at a metabolic level, at the cell level, and how your products work naturally, it just sucked me in. And as Dover just said, I can also analyze blood. I haven't done it in a while, but I went through your training, which is pretty good. And I just want to say, as a person, I think that's what drew me to you more than the knowledge. But we need to change that, where we're not talking once a year. We should be visiting 3 or 4 times a year in person somewhere nice. So I think we need to work on that in the coming months. So that's all I had. We just need to spend more quality time together. Take care, brother. Wish you the best.
That's awesome. Sounds like someone's making a trip to Montana pretty soon. Welcome. Thank
Hi,
you.
Dover. Diane's here also.
Hey, Diane. Oh, please, welcome. Great to hear you.
Yeah, we've been taking the product, what Rob said, about 14 years now. And I would much rather run out of product and find something local to limp me through until Ron gets what he wants and gets it right, because we know it works. Don't change it if it ain't broken.
That's right. And Rob and Diane, since I've got you here, and thank you both for sharing. But you've helped people from the East Coast to the West, and have introduced family members. But Diane, I know it's my secret weapon here. I'm going to expose her. But when I'm out of product, I know that they'll have some, so I go to them. Talia, if it's out online, I'm going to Rob and Diane. But
and Talia, that was one of the most beautiful sentiments that I've heard, and that was just awesome.
Oh, thank you. He
You're
means
welcome.
a lot to me.
Yeah.
I'm his only, and he's my only dad, so
Mhm.
I love him.
And I know dads and sons have a special bond, but dads and daughters have a real tight bond.
Yes. Yeah, we've been through it, when I was younger,
Mhm.
but we're in such a great place, and to have him as my boss. I mean, he's not really I don't even really consider him a boss, more like a partner,
Yeah, just an advisor.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been awesome, and it's brought us a lot closer, so.
Yeah, awesome. Well, you do a fantastic job. I haven't had the
Thank you.
opportunity to use you because we're distributors, so I always go through your dad, but
Yeah.
you've helped me with questions and different things, so I appreciate that very much.
Of course, you're welcome.
All right. Well,
Diane, what kind of you say the products work, and yeah, you'll bridge the gap if he runs out and don't compromise, and I can appreciate that, but I just go back to a test that maybe your husband had, and we came back with flying colors, right? And
Oh, yeah.
I'll
yeah.
never forget, didn't he share those results with Ron? And
Yes.
and what did Ron say? He says, man, your blood's looking better than mine. And so just share a little bit about, that comes from the product use. And just so everybody gets it. Like I was just talking with Rob yesterday, day before. And he's like, you taking your product? Because I'm under the weather, right? And he said, well, yeah, I take this 3 times a day. So he's taking all of the products, the Rob who just spoke, and majority of the products. But it works. His blood came back in flying colors. And I just think we overlooked that. And Rob, I don't know if you or Diane want to share a little bit about that, but if you would, please, I think people deserve to hear that.
Yeah, no, we had, I had a little bit of an incident and they did the whole gambit of tests on me and make sure I was going to kick the bucket too early. But when I got the test results, I'm looking at them going, is there a man, this can't be right. And so I shared those results with Ron, and then we chatted briefly. He says, dude, your blood's looking way better than mine. My total cholesterol was less than 300. And the LDL, the HDL, they were just like at each extreme is low, but in the bandwidth. And they're just like, how do you do this? I said, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. So I'll just, not tell you. Because I'm in a hospital, right? They don't get it. So the whole time I'm thinking, okay, I've been very diligent for 12 years, minimum 2 times a day, 3 most of the time. And I'd very rarely get sick. If I do, it's about a third or a half of what other people experience. And I'm 62, but Dover can attest, I can get out there and kick it.
He can.
So I attribute that a lot to his products, along with my physical activity in the construction world. So anyway, that's what that was. And thanks for putting me on the spot there, brother.
Welcome. Absolutely. Anytime. Appreciate
And
you.
just real quick, Rob's mom is on the enzymes, and when she goes in for blood work, they always comment on how good her blood looks. Just the color of it. And she said, well, I take enzymes. I said, yeah, but you don't take just any enzymes.
Right.
That's awesome. Thank you both for sharing. Appreciate it.
You bet.
All right. Anyone else?
Hi, Dover. This is Canna Stahl. I'm actually Shelley's sister, so it's fun to see her face on the calls when I can participate. But I just wanted to reiterate the fact that Shelley and I both grew up with a mother who was very into keeping yourself healthy, staying away from doctors, not being medicated. And here, probably 4 years ago, I had the privilege of meeting Ron down here in Arizona and went to one of his seminars and was determined when I showed up to the meeting. I had some health issues. I've had cancer, and I had spent a lot of money trying to find something that made me feel normal again. Your body gets pretty ravaged by the treatments. And so I was determined I was not going to buy one more thing. And I showed up and left with a whole bag of product because he definitely won me over. I was impressed with his knowledge, very intrigued by the products. And I can tell you it made a world of difference in my life and my health and how they talk about brain fog and chemo fog and people don't understand what it is until you've had it. And it was like having a light switch turned on. It took about 4 months of being on his products, but it was like a light was switched back on in between my brain and my body. And I was able to function. I was able to think. I was able to hold a thought longer than 6 seconds. And yeah, that summer when I was home, my sister was home, and I just was going on and on about these. And I have 4 sisters. Unfortunately, she's the only one I could talk into taking the products. I wish everybody I knew. Every time I meet somebody, it's like if you just knew what Ron had, it could change your life. and it did with me. And I'm very, very grateful to have met him. Talia, I would love to meet you someday. I know I've spoken with you on the phone, and you are just fantastic to deal with. So I just want to tell you all how much this has meant to me. And I've had several friends that I've introduced to the products and have seen remarkable results. So I truly believe in what he's doing, and my deepest sympathies to you and your family. So thank you all.
That was precious, Tana. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm glad that you were able to connect with Ron and that the light switch is turned on. That I was just going through that visual of the connection, connecting your mind with your body, and that fog you were talking about going away once that 4 months kicked in of the product. So man, that's powerful. And I'm glad that you're on the call and you introduced your sister to us, Shelly, and we just appreciate you. So thank you for your contribution tonight. Okay, anyone else before we wrap up the call? Anyone else feel compelled? Anything you want to share from your heart to say thank you to Ron?
Hey, Dover, this is Steve McCaffrey in Texas.
Hey, Steve, welcome. Great to hear you.
Hey, I just wanted to throw in another little example of how these products can really make life a little bit more pleasant. They can be life-saving too, but sometimes you just need it to help out. A couple of years ago, I had a case of poison ivy doing some yard work, and I'm apparently quite sensitive to it, maybe because I got it really bad years ago, but nevertheless, I would take about nearly a week to get over it. And then it would just start flaring up again. And I was doing other things, but it just wouldn't go away. And after about a month of it, man, I got sick and tired of it. I'm not very good for dealing with chronic stuff. It's like, I need to get rid of this. So it might be a little mega dosing, but I just decided, well, heck, I'm going to take the aloe vera, like one capsule at least every hour while I'm awake. So I started doing that. And sometimes even half an hour to an hour, I just take it throughout the day. And after about 2 or 3 days, then I kind of just forgot about it. And all of a sudden I realized, hey, the poison ivy is gone. So even something as simple as that can be really, so helpful. So I just want to express my appreciation for even little things like that just make life so much smoother.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Steve. And yeah, the aloe is a we hear so much about the staple, right? The enzymes and what that's done for everybody. And that is one that I would not leave home with. If I had to take one thing with me to my grave, it would be supplements. It would be the enzymes. But yes, the aloe, the Sterol Max we spoke about earlier too, briefly, just amazing, amazing product. And it goes back to not compromising, like Diane said, like Talia said. Ron will not compromise, his quality of his product. So Steve, appreciate you. You've been here. You're very dedicated. You appreciate your interaction in the comments and the chats. I don't get to tell you that very often, but I love your contribution, and I know Ron does too. So thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. The enzymes are certainly the workhorse, and if that happens again, I'll probably double up on that as well, just to keep the blood super clean at that point. But it's just impressive. I like the way that Ron explains all these details. How for example, the aloe has something like about 750,000 up to over 1 million long chain polysaccharides. And you can compare that to the next closest thing might be something like noni juice with maybe a little over 20,000. So there is no comparison.
That's right.
And with one capsule equaling about a half a gallon or a quart or a gallon of aloe vera juice, it's like they're really concentrated. And I don't think I should have to take that many, but everybody's a little different and every condition's different. But heck, whatever it takes, if it gets you the results, man, it's just gold.
That's right. That's right. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Anyone else have anything they want to share before we wrap up tonight? Thanks again, Steve. All right. We'll go one last call. Anyone else, if you want to say a few words to Ron before we wrap up, unmute yourself.
Oh, I want to share my story.
Hey, yes, Michael, how are you? Welcome.
Doing good. I just want to share my story that before I found Ron, I had like indigestion. I was pounding a lot of energy drinks, like hanging out with celebrities, and I finally called Ron and then asked him what advice to take, and then he told me to take on the enzymes and the probiotics. And then a few months, like I've been taking it, feel much better. I could finally burp because there was no oxygen going up through my throat.
Oh,
hmm And then
Michael, how did you meet Ron?
one of the seminars in Arizona, doing network marketing.
Nice.
That's where I met him. And then I finally he did a blood analysis for me. I was really scared. And then he's like, Mike, are you always tired? I was like, how do you know? And then I found the results like, Mike, you're low on iron. You're deficiency in iron and stuff. And I found that I have to take a iron supplement. And that's when I have my iron deficiency. So got back on the iron stuff for that. And then like a few months later, then I did a trade show, and then Ron willing to come down. I picked him up at the airport, and then we did a show at the trade show for the LA Fit Expo, and I got a chance to like talk to him, and he was there for me. And it's like Michael, he told me one advice: Mike, don't ever do these trade show again. We didn't make as much sales there, but there was a lot of people in the trade show. He gave me advices like most of these people does steroids, and he gave me a lot of advices like never do this again because everybody just wants free, and Ron is the guy that tells the truth, and he doesn't like lie and does that false advertisement. So he's always been there for me and giving advice to everyone and being there for me. So
Wow.
thank you so much, Ron.
Appreciate you sharing, Mike. And yes, I've done the trade show with Ron too, and I got the same talk. Last one we did was actually in Vegas 3 years ago.
And that's when some guy walked up to our booth and he said, "Hey, do you guys sell expired supplement?" And then Ron got his number and it's like, "Man, you can't be doing that. That's against the law."
Yeah, he's honest and he won't compromise. And you're right. I love that about him. And if there's someone out there, pulling fast ones or being a gimmicky, that's definitely that rubs
he'll tell you like, you go somewhere else. Don't come to me.
That's right. That's right. No, I appreciate that, Michael.
Oh, you're
Appreciate you
welcome.
sharing. Thank you so much. Anyone else wanna share before we wrap up here? Okay. Well, we'll do it this way, and we'll just say, Ron, there's countless people. We could do these calls forever, but really, brother, I appreciate you. I know times are tough, but just look at the lives that you're affecting, and I know that's what keeps you going. I know it's what keeps you going outside of your family, is the lives that you've been able to impact and the lives that you're touching. And he doesn't take this lightly. And Ron, I know you don't take this lightly. You know that this product saves lives. And I know he would correct me right now and say, no, Dover, the only thing that's going to cure or save anything is a healthy immune system. I'm with you, brother, but let's just call a spade a spade. What you've created with this product line is saving lives and has. So thank you so much. We love you. Samantha, thank you. Our thoughts, our prayers are with you and Talia and the family. And if it's meant to be, we'll see you next week, buddy, on this call. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. This call's a wrap.